And of course, before working on any firearm, you need to make sure it is free and clear of any ammunition. So we'll go ahead and take the magazine out. The magazine is free and clear. Pull the bolt back. And as we can see, the chamber area is free and clear. So we're free to look at the design features and controls of the INTRATEC TEC 22 or Scorpion. It is a single action hammer fired pistol that uses a straight blowback action. The hammer's inside the frame. Has a threaded barrel. Now the threading is 1/2 by 20 versus today's standard 1/2 by 28. So if you do have one of these and the accessory doesn't seem to want to screw on the barrel, that would be why. So you want to keep that in mind if you go to get any muzzle devices for one that you might have. It is a one-piece injection molded ABS plastic frame and receiver assembly on these pistols with a stamped sheet steel top cover. It has an ambidextrous safety. The safety is right here. S for safe. F is for fire. It has an ambidextrous charging handle or operating handle. You see on both sides there. Of course, there's the safety. The front sight is adjustable for windage. You would need to open up the top cover, and there's a screw you can loosen then to move that left or right. The rear sight is adjustable for elevation by turning that screw. There is a storage compartment in the grip, which you could simply just lift up that, and there's a storage compartment there. The magazine, it has a paddle style magazine release. You would simply push forward on that and the magazine will come out. It utilizes the Ruger style or format of magazines, so anything that would fit in a Ruger 1022 would work in the TEC 22. So we'll go ahead and take a look at disassembly. So this is our takedown latch right here. To disassemble, you would simply push in on that, and then the top cover will lift up. So basically push in, and the top cover lifts up. And on the inside here, we have our bolt assembly here. Of course, there's our operating handles. There's the takedown latch. There's the recoil spring and guide rod. The hammer and trigger assembly is inside there. So to remove the bolt assembly, you would simply just pull back on the bolt slightly, and then you could lift it up and out, and it comes out as a unit. Take a look at that in a moment. On the inside, we have our hammer here and our trigger. And this whole unit here, right here, comes out as a single unit by removing this pin. Now there's not really a real reason to take that out unless you really need to get in there and clean it. So because this is all plastic, you want to try to avoid removing pins and stuff as much as you can, because it just won't take up to repeated, taking the pins in and out. The holes will start to enlarge if you're not careful. So this is really as far as you would need to ever take this down. At this point, you could clean everything. You have access to the barrel and chamber there. You have the rails that are just molded into the frame and that the bolt rides on. So you'd want to clean everything out, give it a light coating of oil for corrosion prevention and for lubrication. There is the screw right there that you would loosen to adjust the front sight. Once you loosen that, it will go around to the left or right to move that front post. This is the rear latch here that latches on to this section right here on the takedown latch. Now, one issue that these have, and when we take this out, when you see the shooting portion, you'll see that I ran into it as well. This is just a small stamped steel piece that comes down that makes that latch. And what happens is it gets bent. And it gets bent actually just from the action of opening and closing it. As you close it down, it pushes against this spring. Well, it tends to start to bend back. Once it bends back far enough, the recoil from firing sometimes will be enough that this will lift out of being locked in place. So really all you have to do is just bend it forward again slightly to be able to get it to where it locks back in properly. The bolt itself, we have the bolt there. There's the firing pin, runs in a channel in the bolt. There is a spring that's underneath the operating handle there. It's held in place, and that provides the spring action, the rebound spring, I should say, for the firing pin. We have our extractor right there. And so really this is as far as you would ever need to take this apart, really, to clean it. You would just need to wipe everything down, clean it real good. If you do need to take the firing pin out, 22 long rifle does operate, it's kind of a dirty ammo. You can remove this screw right here. Use an appropriate size Allen screw or Allen key. You can take that off. There's our spring there. And make sure you don't lose it. And then there's the firing pin. So at this point you could clean out the channel, wipe everything down real good. Reassembly is just the opposite. Put the firing pin in the channel, put the spring back in place. Now on the operating handle there's a little tab that sticks out right there. And that goes in front of the spring. And that's what the spring would then push against. So you want to make sure that the spring is pushed back. You don't want to damage the spring. And once that's in, once that's in place, simply put the screw back. And that's reinstalled. Now, to reassemble, you just open up the top cover, put the latch button into the hole in the back of the frame there, like so. Pull back on the bolt, push down, close the top latch, and we are reassembled.